Hi everyone, welcome. In this series of videos, we'll be learning about all the basics of Indian geography. So, starting from the beautiful Himalayas, see how beauty the Himalayas were. The topmost, you find Greater Himalayas. In this particular picture, I'm not talking about the complete India. And if you come down, you see the green valleys and hills where we have Shiwalik mountains. And so beauty it is. Okay, now coming to the main aspects of Himalayas, the Indian physical landscape is divided into six major groups, starting from the Himalayan mountains, northern plains, peninsula plateau, Indian desert, coastal plains, and islands. Everything is India. India is not just Himalayas. India is not just north or south. India is not just a desert. India has a coastline. India are islands. India is everything. Starting from the first, the Himalayan mountains. They are young mountains, very young mountains. They have been formed because two continents have collided, which we have already discussed in the last video. Two continents, not just a car and a bike, or not just a car and a lorry. Two big giant continents, Indian continent and Eurasian continent, have collided. With this collision, we have got something as a fold mountain, a fold mountains, a lofty, very big mountains, 8,000 plus meters, extensive mountains, which we generally refer as Himadri, Himavan, or Himachal. There are so many names for it. Hima, and they cover about 5 lakh square kilometers, switching from 2,400 kilometers of the length, or we can say the width is about 200 to 500 kilometers. So the length is like almost 2,400 kilometers, and width will be around 200 to 500. It depends upon the size. Okay. Now they connect Central Asia because you can say like they will divide Central Asia or they connect Central Asia. Both are the same. But on the north of India, there we have a series of mountains called Pamir Knot. And to the north of this particular Himalayas, we have Tibet. Tibet is one of the most beautiful places. It is in the part of Himalayas. And similarly, once upon a time, before this Himalayas were formed, if this is India and this is Eurasia, in between we have a sea called the Tethys Sea. This Tethys Sea has sediments from India and also from Eurasia. Sediments. Sediments means not just sand sediments. Sediments from animal dead bodies, or sediments from plant dead bodies, or trees, or aquatic biota, or terrestrial biota. All this biota over a period of time has been crushed between this Tethys Sea. As Tethys Sea is moving forward, all these fossils has been converted, or these dead animals or animals which are whatever they are present, they have been converted into crude oil or gas or coal, though we can't extract them right now because of the various complexities, but yes, we can do it. Now if you come to the Himalayan part, Himalayas are, as I said, so lofty. The convergence of two major plates, and like closer of the Tethys Sea, which are convex shaped mountains from Aravalli Mountains and also Patkebam Mountains in the east. Of course, Patkebam is a part of Himalayas, but Aravallis were not a part of Himalayas. We should know that because we already have a UPSC prelims question saying that are Aravallis part of Himalayas? No, Aravallis extend till Delhi, but they are not part of Himalayas. And now we talk about the last, the latest, the youngest, the Shivaliks, the outermost Himalayas. If we have the series of Himalayas, so this is the outermost Himalayas, the Shivalik mountain, outermost. So outermost and southernmost range called Outer Himalayas. The altitude is 600 to 1500 meters, width is 10 to 50 kilometers. They are widest in Himachal, narrowest in Arunachal Pradesh. These are the type of questions you get. So outer Himalayas, the Shivalik mountains are wider in which state, narrower in which state. So these type of questions, points where we have to remember. This is what we expect, characterized by steep southern slope and gentle northern slope. So the southern slope is very steep, and northern slope, if this is your no southern slope, this is your northern slope, this is your western, that is your eastern. Okay, southern slope is very steep. You should understand that. as you can say, southern very steep, because of so much amount of rainfall that is happening, landslides that is happening, because whenever we have monsoon coming here, this monsoon hits this particular mountain, and that leads to formation of breakage of the mountain. Imagine the cloud or the rainfall from millions of years, crores of years, having rainfall over a period of time, having landslides made the particular landmass, as a straight valley type we have. Okay, but if you on the northern side, we don't have that much. The slope will be gentler. Now, as I said, contains flat valleys called dunes, Dehradun, for example, which are fertile and densely populated. So here, dune means like, when two between two mountains we have a valley. That valley we generally termed as a dune. Obviously, we people, you and me, can't live in a hilly region for years together, right? Though we love that place, scenic beauty was there. In terms of urbanization, it's not possible. So we obviously come to the valley. So that particular valleys are present here throughout the Shiwalik mountains and outer Himalayas and lesser Himalayas. Between these two mountains, we have so many dunes, and this particular area is prone to earthquake. Oh yes, there are so many earthquakes and landslides in this area because they have been continuously reformed, right? And forest cover decreases from east to west due to declining rainfall. So whenever we have, if this is India, and from east to west the rainfall decreases obviously, so we get good amount of rainfall here, and furthermore less, so the rainfall pattern will be keep on decreasing and highly dissected by seasonal streams called caves in Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. So before the formation of Punjab and Haryana land itself, there are these rivers that have been antecedent rivers which have been there from very long, has dissected this particular plains. And now we have middle Himalayas, the lesser Himalayas. In lesser Himalayas, what exactly is lesser Himalayas? So before going to the greater Himalayas, right, you are in the southernmost right now. Well, as I said, Shiwalik is in the southernmost. Now you went much beyond it. Okay, that is like middle Himalayas, lesser Himalayas. Of course, the length is not lesser. It is like almost like 3,500 to 4,500 meters. And similarly, we have a width of 60 to 80 kilometers, runs parallel between Shivaliks on the south, Greater Himalayas on the north. As I said, so we have, these are Greater Himalayas, these are Lesser Himalayas, and these are Shivaliks. Okay, right. And no, with the important ranges, Purvanchal ranges longest, Dolada ranges Himachal, Mussoorie and Nagtiba Uttarakhand, Mahabharat Lake Nepal. These are some of the most important peaks or maybe ranges for that matter. And peak is like almost 50, right? Not 50, 5,050 meters are snow covered. Okay, and obviously we have so many valleys near the Purvanchal ranges. We have Kashmir Valley, Kangra Valley, and after that we have in Uttarakhand, particularly Mussoorie and Nagtiba hills, we have Kulu and Kathmandu regions. Okay, Kathmandu, Nepal. Many hill stations are also there. So one of the most beautiful places in the complete Himalayas will be in middle Himalayas or lesser Himalayas, Shimla, Mussoorie. You want to go here, so read carefully. So Nainital, Darjeeling are located due to their pleasant climate. Yes, we have the best climate here, and region is more accessible and habitat compared to other ranges. See, Shivaliks are very new mountains which are recently forming. There are deformities, there can be disturbances, and Greater Himalayas are very high mountains. It is not easy to catch, or easy to travel through those mountains. And Karakoram, Ladakh were dissected mountains, there are so many breakages, and those are old mountains, but which is very accessible, where majority of the tourism happens, is in, say, middle Himalayas. Yes, in Shikara Academy, we have TSPSC 2025-26. We have where we have one-to-one mentorship session with Deepika ma'am herself, and regular mock test and feedback will be there. Weekly roundup, doubt roundup session, and personalized study plan, and current affairs will be there. Daily answer writing practice. You can call to 7702026769. And group 1 batch, we have complete PCM batch, which is like 1 year course, which we have live and recorded. 100% syllabus coverage will be there. Weekly doubt sessions, prelims, mains, and subject-based practice tests. Everything will be covered. Generally, it used to be 50,000 till last month. Now we have reduced to 40,000 for a limited period. And you can call us to 7702026769 for free demo. If you want a free demo, obviously, you'll get to know what exactly is going on in our institute. Now, for group 2 also, we have for TSPSC foundational batch, where we have live plus recorded. 100% service coverage is what we mentioned, and that is what making us uh, the best. So comprehensive current affairs coverage, weekly doubt clearing sessions, study materials also be provided. And if you want to attend for a few classes, demo classes, you can call, which we have a less price for a limited period. And one more type of Himalayas we have is a greater Himalayas, like inner Himalayas, which is very, very great, very vast Himalayas. The elevation of about 6,000 meters. The height will be more, one of the tallest are innermost ranges, because from these particular greater Himalayas we have Karakoram, Ladakh, Jaskar in the north. This is greater Himalayas. Similarly, lower Himalayas, Shiwaliks in the south. So this will be like almost like inner Himalayas or greater Himalayas or Himadri. Okay, right. Home to world's highest peaks: Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Nanda Devi, Namcha Barwa. These are the major peaks. And important passes: Shipkila, Jalipla. These are the few passes. Of course, for passes and mountains, peaks, national parks, we will be having a separate session for each and every different topics: permanent snow, permafrost, or permanent ice line sources. There are so many perennial rivers in this particular area. Next, we have Trans Himalayas. Trans Himalayas are the northern Himalayas, where which is old formed, which are dissected. There are so many breakages in the mountains. There are so many debris. There are erosion forces. There are deposition forces. So those are the things. Located north of the Great Himalayas, also called as Tibetan Himalayas, or most of it lies in Tibet. And major ranges, yes, from Tibet it comes to India. Also Jaskar, Ladakh, Kailash ranges, Karakoram. Kailash ranges are in Chinese, right? Karakoram Mountains or Krishnagiri extends 800 kilometers in the Pamir Nat region. It includes K2, one of the India's highest peak, K2, the second highest peak globally. Yes. So after Mount Everest, it is K2. Few people argue that it is Nanda Devi or Annapurna, but no, it is K2 because K2 is in Pak occupied Kashmir. But Pak occupied Kashmir is ours. It's mine. It's yours. So someday or the other we get it back. So right now it is K2, which is in POK, but of course it is ours. Ladakh Plateau, highest plateau in India, dissected into plains like Aksai Soda plains, Depsang plains. So though this particular Ladakh are mountains, but it feels like plateaus, because uh, before Ladakh we have Jaskar and Karakoram, and again before Karakoram we have this side we have Jaskar mountain. So it feels like this is like a plateau, though it is a mountain, it looks like a plateau, and the slopes were also not so great, so heavy. There are so many depositions, as I said, erosions are with them. So average elevation was 3,000 meters. Trans Himalayas were 205 kilometers in central parts. And Indus River originates from this, and not just Indus River. If you go to the east, we have Brahmaputra River. If you go to the south, we have Gangotri, Yamunotri rivers. Also to the south of this Trans Himalayas, we have. And some of the world's largest glaciers were also there outside the polar region, like beyond north and south. We have the good glaciers here, and similarly eastern hills for Purvanchal. So this is also where we have good vegetation in the eastern part region. So they're located in the Himalayas. We should understand that Purvanchal are Himalayas. These are the part of Himalayas. They are not separate mountains. Here we have Miri Hills, Mishmi Hills, Javdi Hills. There are so many hills. Okay. Similarly, we have Naga Hills, Mizo Hills, Patkebum, and Blue Mountain, which is very, very famous in Mizoram, highest peak 2157 meters, which is like known for their lower elevation and dense forest cover. See, the forest cover is very, very high in the eastern part. For example, in the eastern region, we have this Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon that comes to this northeast India, having the funnel shaped Garakasi, Jaintia, Patkebum, Naga Hills, Misho Hills, Lashmi Hills, and all these mountains look like as a funnel, and it gives super amount of rainfall. And why? What is the reason that we need to learn about Himalayas? They are home to more than 110 peaks, which are 7,000 meters high, and 8 of the world's largest 14 peaks are above 8,000 meters are found in here. Sort of 8 out of 14 peaks are found here itself. The seismically active, yes, they're even today active. There are so many earthquakes that happen in Myanmar, there happens in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Jammu Kashmir, and Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand we have quite rare, but Sikkim and also in Arunachal Pradesh we have earthquakes, right? So Himalayas acts as a climate barrier, of course, without which the harsh climates of Russia and Ukraine, or maybe in Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, they used to come to India with minus 40, minus 30 degrees centigrade, which are not here, by the way. So the Himalayas have stopped that, and that is the reason we are having the best of the best of the best climates in the world. They are the source of rivers, Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna, or maybe settlers, or whatnot. So many rivers, Gaggar, Ganda, Kosi, Rapti. So many rivers were there. Good flora and vegetation. Of course, national parks will be dealt as a separate video here. So that's it for the day. We'll learn about remaining part of Himalayas in the next video. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.